The sound of the slap echoed through the reception hall, silencing the string quartet and freezing every guest mid-conversation. My cheek burned as I stared at my sister, Amanda, her perfectly manicured hands still raised, her face contorted with rage. "How dare you invite that homewrecker to my niece's wedding?" she screamed, mascara-stained tears streaming down her face as she pointed at David's new wife, Sarah, who stood mortified near the champagne fountain. My daughter Emily rushed to my side, her white wedding dress rustling. "Aunt Amanda, stop it. I invited them. Sarah's been nothing but kind to me." "Kind?" Amanda laughed bitterly. "Was she being kind when she stole my husband? When she took my life away?" I touched my stinging cheek, thinking of the monthly transfers I'd been making to Amanda's so-called inheritance account. 5 years of silently supporting her after her divorce, watching her build her supposed self-made empire while she belittled everyone around her. "Your life?" I said quietly. "You mean a life you've been bragging about building from scratch?" Amanda's eyes narrowed. "Don't you dare. I worked for everything I have." "Did you work for the penthouse on Fifth Avenue?" I asked, my voice carrying across the now silent room. "Or the summer house in the Hamptons? How about that luxury spa chain you built from nothing?" "I earned every penny," she hissed, but I saw the first flicker of fear in her eyes. "Mom?" Emily touched my arm. "What are you talking about?" I reached into my evening bag and pulled out a folder I brought for exactly this moment. "Your Aunt Amanda loves telling everyone how she recovered from her divorce through hard work and determination. How she never took a penny from David or anyone else." David, standing protectively in front of Sarah, looked confused. "Amanda refused any settlement. She said she'd rather die than take my blood money." "Because she didn't need it," I said, opening the folder. "She had a guardian angel, or should I say, a silent benefactor." Amanda's face went pale. "Catherine, don't." 5 years ago, Amanda started receiving monthly deposits from a trust fund. Large deposits, enough to buy that first spa location she claimed she earned through smart investments. The wedding guests murmured. Amanda had become something of a celebrity in our social circle, frequently featured in magazines as the ultimate comeback story, the wronged wife who rebuilt her life through sheer determination. The trust fund was anonymous, I continued, watching my sister's carefully constructed facade crumble. Set up through a complex network of offshore accounts. Amanda told everyone it was an inheritance from our great aunt in Europe. "We don't have a great aunt in Europe," Emily said slowly. "No, we don't." I pulled out the bank statements, "but we do have someone who's been managing the Park Family Investment Fund for the past decade. Someone who watched their little sister spiral into bitterness and hatred after her divorce." Amanda's designer clutch fell to the floor. "It was you?" "Every penny. The initial capital for your spa chain, the down payment for your penthouse, the lucky stock tips you bragged about. All from me." But why?" "Because you're my sister. Because 5 years ago you were broken and desperate, and I couldn't bear to watch you suffer." I picked up her fallen clutch. "But I never expected you to turn into this. Someone who would slap her sister at her own daughter's wedding for showing basic kindness to others." The room was so quiet you could hear the ice melting in the champagne glasses. David stepped forward, Sarah's hand in his. "All those interviews you gave," he said, "about building everything yourself, about never taking handouts, were lies," I finished, "just like her social media posts about manifesting success and selling her expensive mentoring programs to desperate divorced women." Amanda sank into a nearby chair, her designer dress crumpling. "You'll destroy everything I've built." "You mean everything I built?" I corrected. "The empire you've been using to make others feel small. To reject and humiliate anyone who doesn't meet your standards." Emily, my beautiful bride, took my hand. "Mom, all those times Aunt Amanda criticized your simple lifestyle, your modest house, while living off my investments?" "Yes," I smiled sadly. "Ironic, isn't it?" Amanda stood suddenly, grabbing her purse. "This is my niece's wedding. I won't let you turn it into a circus." "Actually, I pulled out one final document as the main investor in your spa chain. I'm calling an emergency board meeting Monday morning. We'll discuss your position as CEO, especially given these allegations of fraudulent marketing." "You wouldn't dare." "Try me." "Oh, and Amanda," I touched my still red cheek, "that slap just cost you the Hamptons house. I'm canceling the trust payments. As Amanda stormed out, her designer heels clicking on the marble floor, David approached me with Sarah. All these years, he said, I felt guilty for not giving her a settlement. I thought she'd really done it all on her own. She did something much harder, I replied. She convinced herself the lies were true. Emily hugged me tight. Mom, why didn't you ever say anything? Because I hoped the money would help her heal, find peace. I watched Amanda's retreating figure. Instead, it fed the worst parts of her. But that ends now. The string quartet resumed playing, but the whispers had already started. By morning, Amanda's carefully crafted image would be in tatters. Sometimes the kindest thing you can do for someone is to stop protecting them from the truth. But this was just the beginning. Amanda was about to learn what real self-made success looked like, and I had 5 years of receipts to show her. Monday morning arrived with a media storm. Amanda's face was plastered across social media, her self-made success story, #now trending for all the wrong reasons. As I walked into the spa chain's headquarters, employees whispered and pointed. They had all seen the viral videos of the wedding incident. The boardroom was tense. Amanda sat at the head of the table, still trying to maintain her CEO pose in a $5,000 suit I had technically paid for. The board members, mostly her carefully selected yes men, shuffled uncomfortably. Before we begin, Amanda announced, her voice steady but strained, I want to address the malicious rumors. They're not rumors, I interrupted, taking my seat, and as the majority shareholder, I'll be leading this meeting. Shareholders? One board member frowned. I thought Ms. Reynolds owned controlling interest. I smiled, sliding documents across the polished table. Meet Aurora Investments, the actual owner of 67% of Luminous Spa Holdings. My company. Amanda's perfect posture cracked. You can't just walk in here. I can, and I am. Now let's discuss your marketing campaign. The one where you sell $5,000 success mindset seminars to divorced women, promising them your secret formula for post-divorce success. Those seminars are inspirational. Amanda protested. I help women rebuild their lives. By lying to them. I pulled up a presentation. By telling them you started with nothing while receiving $50,000 deposits every month. By selling them a fake story while they drained their savings on your exclusive mentoring. The board members shifted uneasily. Amanda's face flushed. Everything I teach works. Look at my lifestyle. Your lifestyle? I clicked to the next slide. Let's break down exactly how you afford it. For the next 30 minutes, I methodically outlined every penny she had received from my trust. The penthouse mortgage, the car leases, the designer wardrobe allowance, all carefully hidden behind layers of shell companies. This is private family business, Amanda hissed. No, this is fraud, I corrected. You've built an empire on lies. Those women deserve to know the truth. One of the board members cleared his throat. Ms. Reynolds, is this true? The trust fund. Amanda's carefully applied makeup couldn't hide her pallor. I still worked hard. The money just helped. The money did everything. I cut in. And now it stops. You can't cut me off. Panic crept into her voice. I have commitments, expenses. You have 2 choices, I said, sliding a final document toward her. Option 1. Resign as CEO, publicly admit the truth about your funding, and refund every woman you scanned with your fake success story. And option 2, she whispered. I pull all funding immediately, freeze your accounts, and let the media have the full story, including the offshore paper trail. The boardroom fell silent. Amanda's hands trembled as she reached for the resignation letter. What about my reputation? Your reputation? I laughed softly. You mean the one you built by mocking others? By calling David's new wife a homewrecker at every opportunity, by slapping me at my daughter's wedding. I was hurt. You don't know what it's like. To be betrayed? To be humiliated? I stood. No, you're right. I just watched my sister turn into someone who valued designer labels over family loyalty. Tears smeared her expensive mascara. What do you want from me? The truth, Amanda. For once, just tell the truth. She looked around the boardroom, at the faces of people who had believed in her carefully crafted lie. Then, slowly, she picked up the pen. What will I do now? She asked quietly. Start over. For real this time. I took the signed resignation. There's still a job waiting at the family bookstore. The one you said was beneath you last Christmas. Amanda's laugh was hollow. From luxury spa CEO to bookstore clerk? No, I corrected. From fake success story to honest work. It's called character building. You should try it sometime. As the board members filed out, Amanda remained seated, staring at her reflection in the polished table. All those women who looked up to me will learn a valuable lesson about authenticity. I gathered my papers. The press conference is at 2. I expect you to tell them everything. Catherine? Her voice was small, reminiscent of my little sister before wealth hardened her. Why did you fund me in the first place? Because 5 years ago you were broken, and I wanted to help. I just never expected you to become so lost in the lie. As I reached the door, she called out again. The bookstore, does it still have that reading corner? The one where Dad used to tell us stories. Yes, some things are worth keeping exactly as they are. I left her there, surrounded by the remnants of her fake empire, hoping that somewhere beneath the designer clothes and practiced sneer, my sister was finally ready to find her way back to herself. 6 months later, I stood outside the family bookstore, watching Amanda arrange the children's storytime corner through the window. She wore simple jeans and a cardigan, no designer labels in sight. Her hair, now free of expensive extensions, was pulled back in a practical ponytail. The media circus had eventually died down. Amanda's public confession had gone viral, but not in the way everyone expected. Instead of destroying her, her honesty had resonated with people tired of perfectly curated social media lies. I pushed open the door, the familiar bell chiming above me. A group of women, her former seminar clients, sat in the reading area, sharing coffee and genuine conversation. And that's how I really started over, Amanda was saying. No trust fund, no shortcuts, just my sister's forgiveness and a lot of hard work. We actually prefer this version of you, one woman said. It's real. Amanda looked up as I approached. Catherine, I was just telling them about our new program. The Fresh Start Book Club had been her idea. Instead of selling expensive success seminars, she now ran free support groups for divorced women, helping them find strength through shared stories rather than shared designer brands. David and Sarah dropped by earlier, she said, sorting through children's books. Sarah's pregnant. They asked me to be the godmother. I raised an eyebrow. And? I said yes. She smiled softly. It's time to let go of old grudges. The store had transformed too. While still maintaining its cozy charm, it now included a career counseling corner where Amanda helped women build genuine business plans. Her experience, both the rise and the fall, had become a powerful teaching tool. Emily called, I said, picking up a worn copy of our childhood favorite book. She's bringing the wedding album today. Amanda flinched slightly. That slap, I don't know if I'll ever forgive myself. But I have, I reminded her. That's what matters. The afternoon sun streamed through the windows, illuminating the now-framed newspaper article about Amanda's transformation. Luxury CEO turns page on fake success story, the headline read. Beneath it was a photo of her current book club, women of all backgrounds sharing their authentic journeys. You know what's funny? Amanda said, straightening a row of books. I have less now than I did 6 months ago, but I feel richer. That's because you're finally building something real. The door chimed again. Emily walked in, wedding album in hand, followed by David and Sarah. Amanda tensed for a moment, then deliberately relaxed. I brought cookies, Sarah said tentatively. For the book club. Homemade? Amanda asked. Yes, not quite as fancy as those catered ones from your old spa events. They're perfect, Amanda interrupted, taking the box. Actually, would you like to stay? We're reading The Little Engine That Could to the kids today. Sarah's face lit up. I'd love to. I watched them settle into the reading corner, the past finally giving way to a new chapter. The designer handbags and luxury cars had been replaced by something more valuable, authenticity. Mom, Emily whispered, I think Aunt Amanda finally found her way back. Sometimes, I replied, you have to lose everything to find what really matters. The evening sun cast long shadows through the bookstore windows as Amanda began reading to the gathered children, her voice strong and clear. No more fake success stories, no more carefully crafted lies. Just my sister, finally comfortable in her own skin, sharing the simple joy of a good book. The trust fund, Amanda said later as we closed up shop. I don't miss it anymore. But I smiled, because that money is going to something better now. A scholarship program for single moms. Your idea, remember? She looked around the bookstore at the life she had once considered beneath her. Thank you, Catherine, not for the money back then, but for taking it away, for making me find myself again. As we turned off the lights, the old sign above the door caught the last rays of sunlight. Park Family Books, where every story matters. Including finally the true story of my sister's redemption.